Hey, I'm Dave Mustaine from Megadeth, and you're watching Iron Mike's Metal Video. Don't touch the dial, or I'll hunt you down and kill you.
Megadeth with Symphony of Destruction on Iron Mike's Metal Video. We're at the Roseland Theater with Dave Mustaine of Megadeth. First off, how's the tour going so far?
The tour's been going really well. It's been basically sold out from beginning to end. We had a date in Mexico next month that we ended up not going through with just immigration situations that made it impossible for us to pull that off right now. But everything else has been really great. The crowd response has been fantastic. The reviews and the press have been all very positive. And every once in a while someone's going to say they didn't hear the song that they wanted to hear, or somebody made a mistake here or there, and at that point you're just kind of like, you know how many notes are played in the course of 2 hours, Give me a break.
It's work like anybody else's work, so
right.
You can't be 100% all the time, and sometimes you're better than 100%. Everybody has a good day and bad day, but overall, I've seen you guys many times, and I've never been disappointed with the Megadeth show.
Cool, thank you. I appreciate that.
And we're going to get some videos on the way here, and this is Lacuna Coil. This is an awesome band. This is Heaven's a Lie on Iron Mike's Metal Video. Slipknot on Iron Mike's Metal Video, and we're going to do a flashback. Of course, it's going to be a Megadeth flashback.
That's good.
Yeah. And Wake Up Dead. That was one of the first videos that you guys came out with that was really big on MTV. And is there an actual story behind that? Because you mentioned Diana and all this. So
behind the video or behind the song?
Behind the song.
Actually, the song was about me when I was homeless. I was living in... David Ellison had a van that he'd driven out from Minnesota in, and we were going in between living in the van and then finding unsuspecting girls and crashing at their house until they caught on and kicked us out. So I had a girlfriend at the time named Nancy I was living with, but I was actually in love with Diana Aragon, and she was the one, you meet the one. And I would see Diana, but yet I needed a place to live. So I was living with Nancy, and I had gone down into the parking lot underneath where we lived and was hanging out with Diana, in the romantic neon-lit garage, and that's basically what the song's about. I wake up and it's, not waking up for me, going back into the house after I've been with Diana. I don't want to wake Nancy up, because if I wake her up and she finds out that I've been downstairs cheating on her when she's providing shelter and food for me, it's like... but she was kind of a tough chick. I don't want to get my butt kicked while I'm sleeping.
No shit.
You're kind of defenseless when you're asleep.
Yeah. You can't really fend off a frying pan when you're...
Or a pillow over your face and they sit on it. It's kind of hard to breathe when you're getting choked to death.
Right on. Well, here's Megadeth. First of two with Wake Up Dead on Iron Mike's Metal Video. An apt video for these times that we're in. And I remember when that came out, and it was like the start of the first Gulf War that came out.
Right. It was close to that period.
Yeah. It's still valid today.
Well, I've always tried to write music that was timely as well as timeless, and I believe that if you can write something that will stand the test of time, that's one of the most important parts about lyrics. The music is timeless, but lyrics can be very dated.
Right. Speaking of writing, how did you guys go about doing the new album, The System Has Failed? I read that you were originally going to do a solo, but you owed another album to the record company under the Megadeth moniker.
That's all correct. I owed another record to EMI, the publishers, for Megadeth, and as far as that's concerned, I was done with all my commitments for a publisher. I still owe Sanctuary 3 records for Megadeth and 3 records as a solo artist. And Sanctuary had showed me that they didn't really care whether it was Megadeth or Mustaine. They just wanted my music, which was flattering for me. So I started the record and had been working on it, was going to go into the studio and do 2 records like Ozzy did with Blizzard and Diary. And as soon as I found that out, I took half of the 22 songs I'd prepared to go in and do this double record session and just started the first one, changed the approach from being a Mustaine record to a Megadeth record. Now, anybody who wants to, if you want to know what my music's going to sound like after I go solo, it's if I do, this is it. It's just the lyrics will be a little bit different because it's a little less political. You know, Megadeth is a very controversial, cynical, political band. It's not so much the band as it is, you know, what the lyrics say. The lyrics, you can have really powerful lyrics over some moderately powerful music, and it just takes it up a whole new level. It just ratchets things up.
So now, what's the concept behind "Die Dead Enough"?
Well, that was written last summer. I was living on the beach in San Diego. I was born down in San Diego.
Okay.
And I was living down there while looking for a place to move back from Arizona to California. Consequently, I found a place, and we bought a house and moved from Arizona back to California, where I grew up. There was a movie, Tomb Raider Part 2.
Part of life, yeah.
Yeah. So they'd asked to have a song written for that, and I said, sure. You know, Laura Croft, Angeline, come on, you know. And I wrote the song, and basically it was about her struggles and you know, not being good at what they're doing, and you know, just fighting and kicking and punching and running and bleeding and hanging on and holding down, you know, staying down and just all that stuff, and can't even die right. You know, you're just fighting and fighting and fighting. And it talks about, you know, waking up and you're just like, in this nightmarish state. You know? And we all have those nightmares where we wake up and it's like, you know, you're holding your breath because you're either swimming or you're you're being suffocated or something, or you know, you're struggling and punching and kicking and stuff in your sleep. And you know what I mean? It's a recurring thing with a lot of people in their dreams.
Right. Cool. Well, here it is. Megadeth with "Die Dead Enough" on Iron Mike's Metal Video. Megadeth with "Die Dead Enough" on Iron Mike's Metal Video. It's about time to wrap up the show. We got some live stuff from the Roseland Theater coming up just in a second here. But one thing I wanted to touch on, and that is how you guys came up, or how you came up with the name Megadeth. It was some type of like an actual measurement of deaths from a nuclear bomb or something like that.
Right. Well, that's the definition for Megadeth. It's 1 million deaths. What I had done, I was coming home from New York when I left my previous band. We parted ways. I got sent home and saw a handout from a senator in California, Alan Cranston, and it had said that the arsenal of Megadeth can't be rid. He was pretty much categorizing and compartmentalizing all of the nuclear arms as Megadeth.
Okay.
And I thought, that's a great song title. So I wrote that down, and I wrote a song which consequently ended up being the song Set the World Afire. Set the World Afire was at one point called Megadeth.
Oh, okay.
And I started to put together the band, and had a bass player named Matt Kisselstein, a guitar player named Robbie Cromwell, and started to, you know, build Megadeth. And I found a singer named Laura Kane. Then found another drummer, a guy named Lee Roush, and then changed the bass player and got a guy named David Ellefson, and then started actually playing and got a friend of Dave's on guitar and replaced Robbie Cromwell, his, you know, that was the stage name.
Right.
And so then we had the first actual lineup and chose the name Megadeth. Now, along with that, we also have a mascot named Vic. Most people, you know, that are fans that know about Megadeth know we have the Vic mascot. Now, that comes from the song Skull Beneath the Skin, which is one of the earlier songs. And it's real symbolic of a spiritual saying, see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. That's why he's got his eyes covered, his mouth stapled shut, and his ears covered. Also, the song Rattlehead, when I was a kid, I used to shake my head a lot when I was listening to music. My mom said, stop doing that, you're going to shake something loose. You know? And you know, she actually said, you're going to rattle something loose. And I thought, I'm a Rattlehead.
Yeah.
So that's where it came from. Vic the Victim from Skull Beneath the Skin, and Rattlehead from the song Rattlehead, Vic Rattlehead.
Well, here we go, man. This is live from the Roseland Theater, Megadeth on Iron Mike's Metal Video. Until next time, you stay heavy.
Nation stands at DEFCON